Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. I just built a green circuit build and it's 2 tiles too tall, so it won't fit in my grid. Yeah, I've done many builds that are just slightly restricted. There we go. I got it right? Black's oxytocin. Thank you. I gotta go back and get your flag, because I forgot about that. Gull, thank you for the sub. That is amazing. I really appreciate that. Whew. See if I can get this to work. Starting to get that lag thing going on. I need an iron plate. There we go. Now it's done. Ooh, and it's barely inside, too. Perfect. Okay. Well, I think it's time to turn some stuff on. I'm going to resave, because I did some stuff. Sixth sheep sick with 10 gift subs. Thank you. That's pleasant. Unexpected and very pleasant. Haven't seen you around. Thank you. Makes the day better. I'm probably going to leave that, but I probably shouldn't. So let's cancel this and get back on. So what's going to happen is nothing is going to happen until this science repopulates. So to get that going again, I have to take these auto launch templates and do that. Yes, it has. So these are going to take a little while to catch up. And as they do, my FPS is going to gradually tank. So it's 12 rocket silos. Should get me my 10,000 science a minute. So let's check in on what just got built. Yeah, it is. The quad launch is quite beautiful. We finish this. I don't know why I have designed this. The grenade and coal and purple red circuit area. I'm not going to need this anymore. Iron and coal production. So what I'm using for iron production and furnace is a local furnace. So I'm experimenting with a inserter to balancer, or a miner to balancer. I don't care about how much I get, so I'm using speed modules. I care about how quickly I can get it. And I'm balancing that out across. A common theme I have is It's 12 beacon. As much as I could, everything is 12 beacon. It's the max beacons I can get. So what this is 2 stations that are independent of each other, and this persists through all of my designs. Oh, a level 3 hype train. Woohoo! I get my own emote. Hopefully you've got your own subscription because there's an ad starting in 30 seconds. So these are sized based on how much I can fit on a belt. So this is outputting just over 1 full belt. And so that's why I have 9 of them and not like a nice even 10 or a divisible 11. That's the same for copper. As for the other ones, stone and coal both work off of the same principle, which is, and I could technically load this, I could load even more, but I'm just double loading this. Yeah, overfeeding it, if you will. And it's a simple concept of this is the stacker. Not always is it dead-ended like this, but here's another example of coal as well. And it's the same exact mining system. I figured, yeah, we'll just take advantage of this. I could have probably smashed them in closer, or not used as many. But I didn't really want to have to deal with idiosyncrasies. But when you looked at that smelting array, here's the same 12 beacon, just with different belts. But the beacon arrangement is the same. The places where it's slightly different are because I absolutely have to make it different. In this case, Rails produces so much so fast. It's producing half a second, I'm getting 2 rail. So this one thing fills a belt all by itself. 4 speed modules and 24 speed beacon modules. So that fills the belt with rail. So that can fill a train all by itself. And then the same thing here. I don't want to have this thing upside down. I wanted the exact same station, so I just adjusted the belts to do different things. I probably could have done this differently as well. I'm thinking that this could have gone here. This could have gone here. Something like that. Would have been a little tighter. But does that answer your question, Sick Sheep? Or is there more? Did I convert this to uranium? Yes, I did. Now, my blueprints, not all of these blueprints are available, but if you hit exclamation point blueprints, most of my blueprints are there. These latest ones are not. I'm still working on standardizing them, but all the blueprints up until then, everything you see on the screen was built out of this factory, which doesn't even have very good lube production, and basically has 2 machines making blue belt. That's it. So all of the blue belt that you see here, and I tried not to use a lot of it. Witzig, you might not be in the US. Yes, the aliens and pollution are both turned off because my focus is on MegaBase. I'm trying to get a 10K MegaBase, and biters and pollution just suck UPS. You'll see the UPS is gonna fall. So when I shut things off a little over an hour, oh geez, it's been 2.5 hours. Good thing I shut them off. Before I shut things off, I was getting my 10K. So I know this base can do it. And if we go back, I've been regularly able to hit 10K. The buffers last for about 45 minutes. Or, I'm sorry, less than 45 minutes. And this was like 45 minutes that I was able to keep a 10K. I shut it off here because I wasn't able to keep the rails going. And I shut it off here because I couldn't keep the furnaces going. Yes, Witzig. They can't show... Ads have to be regional. I seem to be having some internet issues according to... So, good. I'm getting a message about it being unstable, so... So until the rockets catch up, because I drained it out of... One of the challenges here... Good, thank you. One of the challenges I had is buffers, right? Because buffers make it look like you're successful, and then when they run out, you're not. Then you got to try and figure out where you failed. So I tried to keep the buffers as small as I can. Like, these trains only load to half full. I don't think Twitch has that much level of sophistication, Witzig. I think Twitch's budget is tighter than we think. Oh, we're getting our first science. So until these empty out and they go back, they're not going to produce anything. So we're just going to have a sit. Najer, how many? Well, I just restarted it, literally just a few minutes ago. So having just restarted it, I don't actually have any science production. I do have the consumption. And it is trending up. Cyber Costin, thanks for the follow. And for following, you get your name on a cargo wagon. You are in an iron train in Russia. Lots of Iron Train or Russian followers today, or followers who are in Russia, or trains that got sent. Yeah. I hope you got that furry hat. Um, yeah, FPS is fine now because the research facilities are pretty much offline. None of these are working right now. These are all full. Right? And once these kick on, yeah, that's when things are going to get heavy. And you'll see it because I'll get to 30 FPS. For anybody who's already a follower but doesn't have their name on a cargo wagon and would like to, there is a redeem for I'm a follower. And you can redeem that, and I'll run the little script, and it'll randomly choose a cargo wagon just for you. Could I put every item on a separate belt at once? I could. I don't know that there's value in me doing that for this. I've done my best to put every item that's needed in its own... Thanks, nature. This is the old world map, size 3, I think. I didn't even use Australia. It's down here, still in the dark. I have a friend who lives in Cape Town, Baddest. And so I ran electricity to his house, which is more than you can say is in real life. All right, Pony. Let's run this script for you. Pony, you get a copper train. You're on a copper plate train, and you're in India. Have you had your vaccinations? WizKid, let's get you in here too. Oh boy. There you are. A stone train. Oh. Oh, that's very recent. It's amazing it shows that. You are a stone train that is feeding rails, that is feeding purple here in the middle of this place. Let me tell you. Yes, the earth is flat. That's why there's shadows. Oh, wait. All right, we got research going on. This belt fills up fully when there's 2, and the third is more of a bonus. You're almost full. You're nearly full. Let's go watch you. Oh, just in time. Every time those bots fly across to deliver that satellite, I think of the bat that flew into the space shuttle. So these things launch every like minute and 10 seconds or whatever it is. It takes 2 minutes for the full cycle to complete, though. For it to fill, launch, release, and empty. So that's why I need 12 of them, is to cover that. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, I got distracted. Sorry, Six Sheep. Six Sheep. God, that's a good name. Um, I wonder why we've got this going on. These have launched. Sheep. How much robot count would that be? Well, this one has 50 robots in it, but I'm sorry, but I just have to watch this. I'm kind of obligated. Okay, so sheep, here's an example of what I did. Basically, everything gets its own factory. And if it overproduces, then it gets two loaders. How many robots can you deploy at a time? Oh, Jesus. I don't even know. 4,450. I couldn't even get them all out before they die. Oh, gosh. So, sheep, in a sense, I've got each thing on its own train. The only exception is copper cable. Copper cable is made in line, and it's only made in line because it just didn't work for me for green circuits and red circuits, mostly red circuits. So I do have one mini factory. Mining productivity, I think, is only 30. Yeah, it's only 300. Because um, the tech I'm using, follower robot count, is the only one that uses all 7 sciences. Yeah, it's useless. But this whole exercise is just for that. So the only mini factory here is the satellite. And this satellite, everything you see here is what it takes to make 4 satellites a minute. Right? So it gets oil and water delivered. Yes, I have a water train, but not in this one. This one's using local water, but it gets oil and water delivered, iron, coal, copper, and steel, and it makes the LDS and the solar and the radar, and of course the green circuits to feed it, the red circuits and the blue circuits to feed that, the plastic for that, the accumulators, and it makes the batteries for the accumulators. And that means it needs to make acid. So the sulfur is there. There's the rocket fuel from the solid fuel and the cracking. And the only thing that's limited on the cracking is the yellow, so that I don't burn off all of my yellow oil and can't make rocket fuel. So this is ratioed to do that. So that's one of the few things that has a rather special setup. But, I mean, I need a little bit of sulfur, and that's the minimum sulfur I can make is 1 row. Oh yeah, iron sticks. I recently changed iron sticks in order to get. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. In order to get frickin' rails to work. Rails. This was a very difficult build to get working. So in order to make this work, I have this, what I consider to be rather ugly design, where I snake the iron through and then split the sticks. But I can't get it to work any other way, because this spits out. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I've had some massive buses. I've got a base here that is pretty much one of everything that I need. I'll think about that as a future challenge. I know Cyclomactic put a full trainload of everything into existence, which was quite a fascinating thing to watch him do, to get one train that had a wagon for each item. But he's also really freaking talented, so... I don't want trees in this part. I have 2 nuclear designs. The Netherlands? No, I just don't. The problem is you have to landfill. If you get up in here, there's so much water mixed in. I need solid land. And I have this small glitch where I don't produce enough lube, and so I keep just bailing on the petro. Just in case I need like him, I'm going to bring him back down to the party house. And McKay's place. Getting your name on a train is also a redeem. Getting a little late to do that because I'm not putting up any more trains, but... we're getting there. Things are starting to get used. Chemical and logistics lagging behind. That 10K. Who are you? Utility science. Is that the yellow stuff? That's right here. Why are you bouncing around like that? You better stabilize or I'll come over there and kick your ass. Don't make me build another LDS, because I don't want to. Hi, Mango. I just restarted the factory 10 minutes ago. Sheep, I'm happy to put, as long as it's Twitch safe, I'm good. I make some accommodations for people who have alternate names, but I unfortunately have not written a UI for vehicle sticker yet, so I can't search these things, but I really want to. I want to make a UI where you click a button. I got to figure out how to put it down here instead of up here. But yeah, you'd have to do the redeem, sheep. There's a redeem for name on a train. Should be there. Let me know if it's not. If you don't have enough points for it, let me know. I mean, gifting 10 subs. I'm happy to bypass that requirement. Hell, just subbing, I should probably put names on trains. I'm not seeing any red lights here. So this should be stable. It's still doing this. Oh, well. Happy to do it for you. I'm going to assume you probably want green. But we're going to put you on this red train. There you go. Where did it go? I lost it. There it is. Now let's find it. I'll get it there eventually. I know it's this one. It's a pretty short running train. It's only got two places to deliver to. And there we go. Cool. What are you serving? Just purple? All right, well, that should be in your color scheme. So let's get this and put this and this in the middle. That lets me see that this train is special. It's got a dedicated route. It's not generic. You didn't unload it all. If you didn't unload it all, then that's a bad sign. That means that you didn't make anything. And if you didn't make anything, that means that wherever you're going didn't need anything. That's not where you're going. So if you didn't need anything, then there might be something broken here. Yeah, something broken. I missed a thing. Come here, come here. Urgent, urgent. We need to go fix something. Do I have them? Yes, I do. Fortunately, it's not a very long walk. Train would probably be faster. Let's see if a train would be faster. We'll send the train up there. We'll see which one gets me there first. Do you prefer a two-way train system above a one-way system on all your playthroughs? Do you mean two-headed versus one-headed? Yes. And the reason is because of a flaw in the way that Factorio does train routing. If you have single-headed trains and trains have to go in a loop, trains will sometimes route through a place where they shouldn't. Yeah, it would definitely have been better to take the train. And so let's say, and this is, first of all, I have no loops. There are no loops in this network anywhere. So it's all tree and branch. So when you look at this rail setup, there is no chance for a train to go in a circle. It can't loop back around. I was very careful about that. It would have been very easy to connect from here to here and have what is an exaggerated circle. And if I did that, trains would use it. And I'm going to have 2 points. One of them is this fuel train right here. At one point, I had a fuel unloading station right here. And I wanted this train to go to it. So I told this train to go right here to that station. But because of the way it works, it routed, and at the time I had a temporary loop right here for doing some work. It routed all the way down to India, did a loop, and then came back to Russia. Because that's where the only loop was. Fluids. That'll balance out. Okay, so that should fix that. Well, that's not the real reason I use it, though. The real reason I use it is kind of hard for me to show here because of the way I've built it. But pretend for a moment that these were loops and that the train had to come out and go to another spot to get there. And I think the best way I can show this is to actually build one and show you. And I've done this, and I'm fine with doing this, so I'm happy to show you this. Let's say that your network looks like this. And this is a showstopper for using single direction trains. Once you see this, you're not going to use single direction trains again. Because it happens, and it'll ruin your playthrough. As a matter of fact, it caused one speedrunner I was watching to actually lose her run. Because the train got stuck behind another train. So what we have is we're going to have multiple loops and multiple pickups. So I need to get a train station in here, so good. So let's say that these are stops, these are pickups, and these are drop-offs, right? So these are loaders. And this is an unloader. And for giggles, imagine that we're doing green circuits. It is slightly slower, but it is more compact. And the trains are slightly slower. But here's the thing. When you see what could happen here, you'll stop using it. I put a train down here. I'm going to put a tiny train down here. I've got a 121. So I put a train here, and I put a copper train here. And as a matter of fact, we're gonna make this a little bit better. So these are unloaders, and you're making green circuits over here. Right? And you've got mining going on here. And then we're going to put an additional copper train on here because you need so much copper. Normally, you want your copper to do this, to stay here. So your copper is like right here and it's happy, right? It is possible, and I've seen it happen, where iron, for reasons I don't understand, will get in line here. And if iron gets in line here, it will wait for this copper train to get out and move on. Now, this isn't an exact complex enough scenario to demonstrate that it would happen, but it could happen. This copper train, because you know how complex these train setups can get, you can't even tell where the train is going, let alone exactly what it's going to do. It's a bug in pathfinding. And what can happen is a train can go and say, I could make it by going through this. I could make it by going through this path. Even though there's a train station here, and even though there's a train here, it's shorter than going way over here, or even an open route like way over here. Because the game does provide a penalty for pathfinding through a station. Right? So in that millisecond where it decides it's going to go this way, if a train comes in and stops there and then waits to fully load, your train is going to sit behind it. And it'll sit forever, because you could possibly be in a locked up situation where this train, you're waiting for more iron before this copper comes in, but that iron train is stuck behind this copper train, and so your iron train never gets to its unload. And you say, oh, well, that's really rare. It could happen. Yeah. There's a reason we don't all use sushi belts. And to me, that's what single-headed trains are, is a sushi belt on rail. There is a slim possibility that a train gets stuck behind another train. And if that happens, all the time savings and all the benefits, and they are more beneficial, go out the window. Because now your whole network is screwed, and you don't know why. We've all played the game, and we all know that, why the hell do I not have green circuits? Where's my green circuits? And then you go look at green circuits, and you're like, well, why isn't green circuits getting any iron? And then you go look at iron, and you're like, why isn't this iron being picked up? And you go find the iron train, and it's sitting behind a copper train, and the first thing you're like, well, how the fuck did that happen? Pardon my language. And then the second thing you go is, well, how am I going to fix it? Now I got to go over there, manually get in the train, get it the heck out of the other one's way, or back it up onto the main lane, and then you get an exterminator death because you're in a train that gets run over by another train. No, not going to use single-headed trains. Well, yeah. Do you want reliability, or do you want a little bit more convenient, or a tiny smidgen faster? And we can see the, by the way, don't watch. We can see the effect UPS is kicking down. UPS is downscaling. What the heck? Chemical science? Oh, everybody is, because we're not using it. Okay. You're not red, you're yellow. I'm not consuming it fast enough yet. This is still buffer work. As long as this train's sitting here, I've probably still got buffer going on. Busy working on the train network, delete a junction, train stop, or some such thing, and it causes trains to repath. Yeah, that's true, Mango. You rebuild one intersection to turn it or something, and then that train repaths. Crazy train, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Okay. I'm going to skip this song. Its volume level is too low. You can go away. Why did I do that? Network glitch there. Does LTN work with a two-directional? I don't know. I don't use LTN. I haven't studied it. To Kelpie, welcome. A first-time chatter. You know what that gets? That gets a hello. How does your mall look like? It's a hybrid. You're going to love this. If you thought the train discussion was interesting. So first of all, everything you see was built by this little monster who I spent way too much time painting the ground with color concrete when I should have been doing other stuff. So let me back up a little bit to the previous generation. I start with the tiny little base here. Well, I speak English. I'm an American. That's pretty much all I got. I then build this hybrid rail belt that takes in, and it gets me bots. Tukalpi, thanks for the follow. For following, you get your name on a cargo wagon. There you are, shuffling ammo in the military quadrant. Awesome. I hope you like it, and thank you for the follow. So, Nature, back to this. This factory, all it does really is it gets me bots. Its whole job is that assembler. Construction bots. That's all it's there for. After that, I place this blueprint and I start building this thing. But you see, what this one has is a straight up bus build, right? My philosophy is I have 4 buses here. You don't realize this, but this is 4 different buses. Everything, just about everything that these need is on this side of this bus. There's 1, there's 2, down here at science is 3, and here's 4. Right? So this isn't a big spaghetti mess. These things are all sized based on what they're going to need. I'm going to start with these 4 sciences, and then I'm going to have those 2 added in later. So that's segmented that way, but you see, this is the contention point. Right here is ugly and hard and inflexible. Yeah, well, this isn't the mall part, right? This is base 2. If you look at my blueprints, this is just called base 2. It's right there, and its science is over here on the right. Right? So look at the philosophy of all my intermediates, green circuits, blue circuits, red circuits, steel, gears, engines. They all go on the bus. And then the bus gets split up into smaller buses. And then I have these production stacks. This is where I make inserters. This is where I make belt. This is where I make, those sorts of things. And then ammo and military is all over here. And then I get into bots. And then circuits and then advanced stuff. So consider that philosophy. Central bus, intermediates, and then production stacks. Like I want to make inserters, which this does. Not the exact same, but it's close. But I did not want to have to deal with the mess of having this intersection. So this streamer and mod maker, Silent Storm, and I worked on this concept, and he was the major factor in the breakthrough. What he came up with, hi Faceless, how's the new gerb? I hope you're loving it. What he came up with was this idea. I get to keep my production stack, right? So everything gets put off into these chests, but I don't have to deal with this there's Africa, it's launching rockets. So I don't have to deal with that. But here's the big thing, because bots are expensive. So by putting all of the buffer chests down here and all of the requester chests right here, where aren't the bots going? Everywhere. Bots are 90% contained in this area. This factory is this big. If you look at how most malls operate, they unload into chests, right? And then when they finish unloading, which, by the way, you should be requesting a train soon. What did I do here? You've got 60,000 in you still? Oh, because oh, I dumped a bunch in there. Yeah, whatever. That'll clean itself up. Normally, you would have red chests here. And then what would happen is a bot that's trying to fill an order for a request here has to fly all the way over there and get it. And it's going... training, yeah. Have you gotten into the HR training yet? And so that bot has to fly all the way over there, and it's going to stop and get recharged 2 or 3 times. And by then, this thing's out of resources, and it's just sitting there idle. In this case, I'm taking advantage in the database terms, because I do software engineering. Bots make sense when you're going one-to-many or many-to-many, but they don't make sense when you're going one-to-one. And in this case, I know where my gears are going. They're going right here. And then the bots can take and distribute them out. So if you want, you can get a copy of this blueprint. If you hit !! blueprints, this blueprint, this whole book is available on my GitHub repo. And you can study it and improve it and provide feedback. But this factory here has built everything you see on this screen. Now, it's been 700 hours, but it did it. You asked. I'll tell you what, AJ, there's 2 reasons I stream. One is to share, and the other is to learn. But the sharing part comes with feedback, right? There's 2 parts to me sharing. People have helped me improve what I'm doing by giving me feedback. Just like watching somebody play and going, hey, you missed a belt, or hey, you missed a pipe. That helps me get better. But we also have discussions about, why do I know that 2-direction trains are better than 1 direction? Because we've talked about it. I've talked with people. Both of these nuclear power plants, I don't know how to do nuclear power. But Fennec designed this, and Solo Scout designed this. Because I was talking on stream that I need it, and I got it.